a $200 Social Security raise, and technically they did say so, which is what I want to share with you here in this video and what they're currently working on with Social Security. Let's get into the details. All right, now first off, if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for the last few months or even just the last few days or weeks here, you've certainly heard me talk about what? The new department. Yes, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, which I know I've talked about a lot lately, and to be fair, no, this video is not all about that. However, I do want to point something out for you as well, because when it comes down to a $200 raise for millions upon millions of Social Security beneficiaries, even though a lot of the controversy that's popping up right now about Doge and what they're doing may not be the worst thing ever when it comes down to a Social Security raise. Now, hang on. Let me explain in just a minute here what I mean by that, because I know that I'm walking a little bit of a fine line by saying that, because there's a ton of controversy out there, and I totally get it. I don't agree with everything that they are doing. However, if we're looking for a raise to benefits, it may not be the worst thing ever, okay? So just let me explain exactly what I mean. Which, by the way, you see that phone number there on your screen? For those of you that are reaching out down below in the comment section in regards to Medicare, Medicare Initial Enrollment, Medicare Supplement Plans, Medicare Advantage Plans, Medicare Part D, and the list goes on and on with Medicare, this is by far your best resource. That phone number right there will connect you with a dedicated Medicare team, my guys over at Chapter Medicare that I partnered with after going through the disastrous process of helping my parents enroll in Medicare and find a supplement plan. Yeah, that's exactly why I made this partnership here. But anyway, they will give you a free consult. They will find you the best plans in your local area, get you the coverages that you need so you can see the doctors you want to see, get the prescription coverages you need or don't need, save you a boatload of money along the way, as well as your other personal preferences. They're already helping a ton of you here in this community and saving a bunch of money and getting better coverages. It's awesome. It's very, very cool. I love this. I mean, it is such a nice thing to see that. At the end of the day, we need to save our money, reduce our overhead expenses, get better coverages, and that's exactly what they're helping out with everybody. So really cool stuff. And again, that phone number there on your screen, it's 100% free. They'll go to work for you on your behalf, so you can give them a call. Otherwise, down below in the description at the top of the comment section, I also have the phone number and a link to their website there. Check that out. And again, thank you so much for the questions. I truly do appreciate it. I want to help you out as much as I possibly can, which, by the way, did you know that there's over 24,000 plans across the entire country? Do you think that we independently could find the best plan for our situation? Not a chance. That's why they're helping us out with that. And again, totally free to do that. All right, so anyway, give them a call at the phone number there. Again, totally free. And tell them I say hi when you do. All right, so anyway, let's talk about this, because this is actually a very interesting situation. Now, originally, the $200 per month raise came up way back in March of 2020. That was a long time ago, right? I mean, 5 years ago is when we originally heard about this. It's been a very popular thing. It was around for a while, which, by the way, a lot of people don't realize this. The $200 raise that they originally introduced back in March of 2020 was actually only temporary. It was not a permanent raise. It was only temporary, out until the end of the year. A lot of people didn't realize that. Obviously, nothing ever happened with it. It kind of went away for a while, and then, like, I don't know, a year and a half-ish ago, again, give or take a little bit, Bernie Sanders and his buddies out of the Senate came back and reintroduced the Social Security Expansion Act, which also does expand Social Security, raises benefits by $200, changes the COLA, raises taxes for higher income people. It does a bunch of different things to Social Security, okay? So that's where that is. However, now let's bring this full circle back to what I mentioned at the beginning of the video, which is Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. Now, let me explain this really quickly here, because I want to run through some very simple numbers and just point out exactly what we're looking at here, okay? This may not be all that hard to pull off, but we got to look at the numbers first. It's always about the numbers. You got to know your numbers, okay? Now, I'm not asking you to whip out a calculator and be like, oh, you know, it's going to be this and that. I've already done that for you. You don't need to. I really enjoy running numbers. I mean, it's like really something I'm interested in. I'm also interested in looking at all the details behind this and how can we pull something like this off. It may not be all that hard. Okay, so anyway, so remember, over the last, couple months here, we've seen Doge kind of going to work here and cutting a bunch of different federal programs and federal contracts and all kinds of things. Anyway, but they've also been looking around in Social Security. You even heard my video from a while ago where I had a clip of Elon out talking about how people people that are aged 150 are getting Social Security, as well as duplicate payments going out, overpayments going out, wrong payments going out, and all kinds of money that is being sent out that really shouldn't be. Now, I want to make it very clear. I'm not talking about all of us out there getting our retirement or SSDI or SSI or survivors or spousal, and we've all gotten our benefits, after earning them, things like that. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about the wrong payments, the duplicate payments, the people that they've identified that technically shouldn't be getting Social Security, right? The people that are entitled to it rightfully so, like you and me and everybody else out there. I'm not talking about them coming in and trying to take our benefit. They're definitely not trying to do that, but rather what they're trying to do is make the program more efficient and just make sure that, hey, there's checks and balances in place and that every payment that's going out is basically going out to the right person in the right dollar amount. There's not duplicates going out. There's not wrong payments going out. There's not overpayments going out, and all these other situations like this. Well, as Doge has been, looking around within Social Security, they've been finding, there's actually a bunch of this going out, right? A bunch of payments that are technically going out that really shouldn't be going out. Now, what is the real dollar amount behind what they're scraping together here? I'm going to be fair with you. I don't know. I've seen a couple different speculations as far as dollar amounts. I do not see a specific dollar amount quite yet. But let me bring this full circle here and explain why this is important in my opinion. Okay, let's run some simple math here. I'll do it for you. Don't worry, you don't need to get a calculator. This is not an assignment, but let me just run some simple math here. So as of right now, the Social Security Administration sends out payments to about 72.5 million people a month right now. If we were to implement a $200 per month raise across the board for everybody, that would cost $15 billion a month, okay? $15 billion a month for every single beneficiary out there. Now, does every beneficiary need a $200 raise? I'll answer that for you. No, not a chance, right? So somebody receiving, say, I don't know, $2,500, $3,000 or more dollars a month, somewhere around that range, do they need a $200 raise? Not a chance. They don't need it, okay? Okay, some people might, but the vast majority don't. We know that. Anyway, if they were to focus a highly focused $200 per month raise just on the lowest income beneficiaries that are maybe getting a benefit below the average of their respective benefit or below the federal poverty line, now that number comes down significantly. We're maybe looking at like 25 million people at that point out of the 72.5 million people. And again, kind of giving some conservative numbers here. I think it could even be lower than 25 million, but let's just say 25 million for easy mathematical and rounding purposes here. Let's just say 25 million people. And again, I think it's actually a number significantly smaller than that, but let's just say it's 25 million and the number will come down significantly from here. Okay, so Doge is going in there. They're finding out all these wrong payments, the overpayments, the payments going out to people that are 150 years old that honestly don't exist. We know that, right? And basically they're scraping together and they're finding all this money that shouldn't be going out. Okay, let's run some simple math again. If only 25 million people that were getting a benefit below the average for their respective benefit or below the federal poverty line were only those individuals that were qualified for a potential $200 raise. How much would that cost? 25 million people. Again, I think that number is way too high, but we're just going to use it for now for easy example purposes. 25 million people, $200 a month equals $5 billion a month. Still a lot of money, but it's honestly not that much. That's only $60 billion a year. It's not that much money. Okay, I mean, for you and me, it's a ton of money. but for the overall program, it's not a ton of money. My point is, behind all of this, as Doge continues to come together and scrape all these funds together from, payments that are wrongly going out, we may find ourselves in a position where maybe they scrape up $1 billion, or maybe $1.5 billion, or maybe $2 billion, or maybe it's 500 million. I don't know. We don't have solid numbers on that quite yet. But whatever that number is, remember, I just said it would take $5 billion a month to send out $200 for 25 million people. That's all it would take. Let's just say, for example, that they come together and scrape together, say, I'm just going to say this much, $2 billion a month in wrong payments, overpayments, payments going out to people that are 150 years old or whatever, as well as all the other categories that they found. In other words, money going out from Social Security that shouldn't be in the first place. Let's just say that that number comes together at $2 billion a month. Okay, that's the equivalent of, tens of millions of people that could be getting a potential $200 raise with no extra expenditures out of Social Security, it basically would just be a wash at that point. Does that kind of make sense, right? So we could literally get 10 million people receiving benefits right now, a $200 per month raise, if Doge were be able to come together and scrape together just $2 billion, just $2 billion little dollars together on a monthly basis out of Social Security that's going out to people, or basically going out, in a variety of different ways that technically shouldn't be going out based on their definitions. That would basically lock in at the same dollar amount. It'd be no like extra out of pocket. It would just be literally a wash if they could do that. Do you see my point behind this? So that's why I said earlier at the beginning of the video, what they're doing may not actually be the worst thing ever. Now, again, I just want to preface this, and I want to say that again. I don't necessarily agree with everything they're doing, but in this case, if they can come together and find a bunch of money that they've identified really shouldn't be going out in the first place, if they were to find that, they could just reallocate that money to who? Gee, I don't know, maybe people that actually need the money in the form of a $200 raise, or whatever it happens to be. Or maybe they don't do it a $200 raise, and maybe they just say, let's keep the money in the trust fund or in the program as a whole. Well, guess what that does? It actually pushes out insolvency a little bit. It's not a ton. If they were to do $2 billion a month, again, going back to the example, that's only $24 billion a year. And as of right now, Social Security pushes out about $100+ billion a month in benefits to beneficiaries. So, I mean, it's a very small amount, but at the end of the day, it is your money that's in the trust fund that they're supposed to be a steward of. And are they being a good steward of your money? I don't know. That's for you to decide. All I'm saying is that this is kind of what we're dealing with right now. So it's an interesting situation, and as they continue to find all this money out there, it's kind of interesting. My big question is going to be, what are you going to do with it, right? Have you ever had people ask you that, right? You get like a tax refund, or you get a stimulus check, or whatever. You get some kind of, like a one-off stipend of some kind. The first thing everybody asks you, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. Let me think about it for a second. I have no idea. We just learned about this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, right? That's my situation anyway. I mean, like, whatever it happens to be, it's just, over the years. I'm not saying, like, right now, this minute. I'm just saying, like, over the years, you always have people ask you that. What are you going to do with it? I don't know. I have no clue. You know what I mean? Not right now, anyway. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that really quickly because as we continue to see them looking around, looking into Social Security and making this program run more efficiently, making sure that they are proper stewards of your money, then I don't know. This may be kind of one of those situations where it's like, hey, sounds a little bit encouraging. Maybe we should do something like that for the beneficiary. And by the way, I said this earlier. I just want to allude to this really quickly again. I made it very clear, and this is not the first time I've said this, I don't believe that all beneficiaries need a $200 raise. In fact, I think that'd be a terrible idea. Why? Do you really think the retiree getting $3,000, $3,500, $4,000, $4,500, $5,000+ a month really needs a $200 raise? Don't get me wrong, some may need it. I totally understand that. I can't speak for everybody, but the vast majority, no, don't need it. Who needs it? The lowest income beneficiaries, especially the people under the federal poverty line. I've said that before many, many times, which is, if you're going to do something, focus it on the lowest income beneficiaries, especially below the federal poverty line. At least at a minimum, bring them up to the federal poverty line and index their benefits on an annualized basis, at least to keep parity with the federal poverty line, and then maybe a COLA on top of that, or maybe the COLA could be part of that, however they would structure it. But all I know is that if I were in control of this, I would certainly be doing something about that because it'd be a huge win for everybody. The beneficiaries win, the seniors win, the people with disabilities win. It's a political win. I mean, it's like a big win all across the board, lifting millions of people out of poverty, which, by the way, right now we have about 40 million people in this country living in poverty, which is absolutely nuts, but that's the reality, right? So I don't know. It's interesting. So I'd love to hear your feedback on this. What do you think here? Do you like what they're doing? Do you not? It's open. Just whatever you feel, that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and that's totally 100% okay. I'm not here to tell you how to think or what to believe or how to feel. It's not my style. I totally, respect and understand what everybody has to say, and that's okay. Opening up a dialogue about that is 100% fine, in my opinion. anyway, I'd love to hear from you down below. Otherwise, again, do yourself a huge favor and call that phone number. If you are a Medicare beneficiary, again, you're looking at a new supplement plan, a Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part D, the initial enrollment into Medicare, things like that, it can be a massive, massive headache if you've been down that road before or you're just going down it now. Yeah, get some guidance. Again, the partners that I have, they're over at Chapter Medicare with that phone number there on your screen. They will go to work and they will help you out in a massive way. They'll take a huge weight off your shoulders and you'll be so happy you did. Can I ask a huge favor of you, by the way? Who can you think of? I know you can think of 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people that benefit from this video and what I have to share here. If you can, please share this video with them. There's a share button right down below. Go ahead and share this video out to them. Again, you don't have to share everybody. Just 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people, whatever you can think of. I know you know a few people. Share this video with them. Thank you. I truly do appreciate that. And again, share button right down below. Otherwise, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. 100% free to do so. Big subscribe button right down below as well. Thank you. Truly do appreciate it. Otherwise, check out the thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library. Or right now, there will be some videos popping up on your screen as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for allowing me to advocate and represent for you. Thank you for trusting me and this content and these videos and everything that I deliver to you in these videos every single day. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much for being part of the community. Otherwise, please just have a nice day. Enjoy. And I really, really hope I can see you again soon.